G'day everyone and welcome back to WardieJay Plays. I'm WardieJay and today is a very special episode. I'm going to be learning from the Advanced Wars guru himself, Deejus. Before we get to that, I have recorded this after the fact. I sort of winged it with him on the night and it was quite late, and I sort of brushed over sort of three key areas that I wanted to discuss now in more detail. Each of these will be touched on throughout the video, but yeah, I just wanted to go through each of those in more detail now, just before we kicked off. So the first thing is channels and us as players. So you can find Deejus over at Deejus Productions on YouTube. He does primarily Advanced Wars by Web replays, where he talks through general strategies, I guess, for the game, and finds the best banger episodes, as he calls them, for those commentaries. So it's always really good content. Deejus himself, he can talk about that stuff because he's currently ranked, he's in the top 10 players around the world for Advanced Wars by Web in FOG games. I believe at the time of our game he was ranked 5th in the world, whereas I'm like 300 and something. So you can imagine how this game went. As for my channel, you're on it now, WardieJay Plays. I typically play a variety of different video games that I enjoy, with Advanced Wars being definitely one of those. So Advanced Wars 2 is my all-time favorite video game. And currently on this channel, there's at least one Advanced Wars video released each week. Whether that is a live stream or a snippet from an Advanced Wars live stream that I've done before. So I'm making sure to release at least one video or live stream a week for Advanced Wars, leading up until Advanced Wars Reboot Camp eventually comes out. And then that is pretty much all this channel is going to be for a while. I'm very excited for that game. In terms of Advanced Wars by Web, I haven't been playing it very long. And as I said before, I'm ranked 300 and something. So in terms of like replay videos for Advanced Wars by Web, I'll probably be more so if I can get more experienced players like Deejus on as a teaching experience for me and for you guys, the viewers. That is more what I'm going to be focusing on. I don't feel like I have enough skill in this realm yet to be making those calls myself. I'm going to keep working at it though and improving my game, and hopefully, who knows, maybe when I breach like 1,200 MMR or something higher, I might start doing some of these replay videos myself. But until then, I feel like I'd just be giving a bit of a bum steer. Well, I'm really great at versing the AI in campaign modes. Versing players, haven't been doing for very long. So yeah, that's more where I'm going. And then maybe some live games against other content creators or viewers is something that I'd be really interested in doing. But yeah, anyway, enough about my channel, on to the next thing. The next thing I wanted to talk about was the map. So again, we brush on it throughout the episode. But yeah, so the map is called Original Zofia. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. It's a Global League map, which is why I picked it, but apparently is no longer in Global League. But a lot of the lessons from this video you can apply to any similar maps. So this is a small map, obviously. It's not very big. There's a lot of terrain spaces and a lot of mountains. So these mountains all throughout here can provide really great vision. Yeah, so another feature with this map is essentially the enemy's HQ is on your strong side. So there is always the risk of HQ cap if you push hard enough. But yeah, so it's just essentially small map, high concentration of terrain, and plenty of mountains spread throughout in key positions to give really great vision. Then the last thing I wanted to talk about was our CO selections. So I banned Kindle on this map because of the amount of urban terrain you see. Didn't think to ban Lash originally, and then when we went to decide, obviously we both had the same idea. She is definitely what I would consider the best tier 3 pick for this map. Yeah, so with those few things out of the way, now we'll get stuck into our game. I'm joined today by the one, the only, Deejus. How we doing, Deejus?
Hello, everyone. Wardie, I'm chuffed to have you, host me. I don't know if chuffed. I think that might be a British thing rather than an Australian thing, but I tried.
Close enough. I mean, we're pretty much just like another state of England or whatever anyway, so it works.
Well, I'm excited to be here regardless.
Yeah, cheers, man. I'm very excited to have you on. You were the reason I found Advanced Wars by Web in the first place. So I was I was a big Advanced Wars fan back in the day. Played a lot of the campaign, especially of Advanced Wars 2. And
nice.
Always wanted to play others. And when Reboot Camp was looking like it was coming out, I was like, oh, sweet, this will be it. And then it got delayed.
Yeah.
And so in the meantime, just happened to stumble across your videos and got onto Advanced Wars by Web. So thank you very much.
Yeah, it's the next best thing, I guess, to like an actual game coming out,
Yeah.
It's got a lot of people hyped and active on the community. So at least, there's some silver lining.
100%.
But glad you could join Advanced Wars by Web. It's definitely growing. A lot of people active. I'm assuming you're learning a lot as well.
I am. I'm learning a lot from your channel and others, and just playing some games. I got pretty high. I got up to like nearly 1,000
nice.
MMR, but then I got like a massive losing streak. I started like pushing hard for the HQs, getting a bit carried away like that. Yeah, and that's kind of why I picked this map too, because I kept falling into that trap with this one, playing it in Global League. It's such a small map, and the HQ is right there on my strong side. I found it very difficult not to push for it. I was more constrained in this game, but yeah, that was definitely a noob trap I've been falling into.
Yeah, HQ pushes, I'd say like only like 5%, 10% of games are actually viable. I very rarely go for HQ pushes unless it's like a very obvious map setup. So I would avoid doing that in most scenarios, unless maybe you're Sammy or something of the like. HQ pushes are typically not worth it. They're like an all-in. If you fail in that regard, then you're going to lose the game. And like I said, 5 to 10%. So you're going to have like a 80+% losing rate at HQ pushing purely. So don't recommend it in general. Just try to win battles. People usually won't, play until they get HQ capped. They'll usually give up way before that, so you don't have to capture their HQ.
Yeah, true, 100%. And that percentage is, I can definitely attest to that. That is how these games have been going. Very few wins. So I've realized that in myself, and I've been working on that. But anyway, we'll see how we go with this game. So I might just jump straight into it.
Sure. Yeah, this small map, I actually had never played it either. It's basically just Last Vigil with mountains instead of rivers and in the fog. So I just took my knowledge of that other map and just applied it to this map, basically. Pretty open. Looks like tanks are pretty decent here. Mechs might have, semi-viability since it's a small map. We both chose Lash because terrain is pretty nice here. A lot of mountains, forests, etc. So I wasn't too surprised by this matchup here. And I think Kindle's also banned. So that's another reason why we were both Lash.
Yeah. So when I initially set it up and had a look at the map, I was like, yeah, I can see Kindle being very powerful. So I banned her. and then didn't really think of Lash initially. And then I was like, all right, well, game's made, better pick one. Yeah, Lash definitely seemed like the top CO. And I think you had a video recently where you spoke about it, where she's really powerful in these, well, A, lots of terrain, obviously, but B, smaller maps where you're getting into a lot more engagements and a lot quicker.
Yeah, especially these two cities next to the mountain area on the right and left side. Lash is going to shine there, attacking from the mountains with 40% attack infantry, attacking from a city, 30% attack infantry, or just even parking tanks on those. Like, you're not going to win the battle attacking from a road into a city tank. So Lash can plop her stuff, her tanks on those cities pretty much with impunity.
100%, 100%. And I realized that probably maybe a bit too late in this game. We'll see how that plays out. But I'm just sort of skipping along through here because I think we're pretty good with the capture game, unless anything's jumped out at you, Deejus, that I've been doing incorrect.
No, everything seems pretty normal. Just like last visual, except in last visual, usually you try to interrupt those two cities on the right and left, but there's no vision, so it's impossible, so you can be aggressive and just going for them. We both have been pretty aggressive. We skipped that smaller base. I mean, the base next to the HQ. We forwent that to go to the middle earlier. You did that on the right, and I do that on the left, I believe.
Yeah.
So, pretty standard stuff. Nothing out of this world, you know.
Okay, excellent. Because it's definitely one area that I always feel like, I wonder if I did that as efficient as it could have been, you know? And then it's not until afterwards I typically go back through the replays that we end up having very similar capture games most times with opponents that I verse. So I feel better about that.
Yeah, capture games, you know, usually it's a great equalizer. Most people are... You can't really shine too much in the capture game unless you like throw some flashy APC or T-copter in there, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna... Usually the game starts to go haywire and it separates the best from the worst when you actually have like combat and like spacing and whatnot. So the capture game is usually it's pretty equal.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So here what I did, I built a artillery out of this base to get it into this forest. I sort of identified this forest as a good spot to get an artillery into to try and deny these cities. That was essentially my thinking for that.
I don't think that's a bad idea at all. I mean, I think it pays off. I didn't really account for an artillery. I didn't even think about artilleries, to be honest. I was just thinking purely in terms of tanks, B-copters, infantry, and mechs. And perhaps a recon. Actually, recon's probably not even needed. There's so many mountains. I didn't even think I considered making a recon either. So tanks are on my mind at this point. I think your artillery actually kind of caught me off guard. How early it was, at least. I expected like later on there would probably be something in that forest, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that was a pretty good build.
Okay, sweet, excellent. Now I build the recon.
I don't think that's a great build though. I think you could have saved your funds, either build a mech, but the best thing, honestly, just build an infantry, and then you can build a tank next turn. You know.
Yeah.
Like sometimes saving funds is better than just making sure you get to 0 funds on that turn. Just spending it all doesn't always work out.
Yeah, cool. Duly noted. And you're right, there's so many mountains on this map too that like the vision from the recon is not really required.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, so we're going to your turn. Again, nothing really out of the ordinary. I see you're moving your tank into the center here. I'm guessing that's so you can shift it.
Yeah, my main goal this whole match is like deny those 2 center top properties right there where you're hovering. I wanted to deny those 2, and since that's my strong side, I have 2 bases on that side. I was like, I'm just gonna pump out like a tank or 2 a turn, and make sure you never capture those. I basically was like, you know what, he's gonna get those ones in the side. The 2 cities next to the mountain, like, he can have those, but I'm going to deny the ones in the center. That was basically my MO.
Yeah, cool. I think from memory, you were pretty successful. Spoiler alert. All right, so...
See, that recon only moves basically an infantry's movement just because of the rough terrain, and, I don't recommend recons on this map, or, maps with a lot of forests and plains and mountains in general.
Yeah, okay, yep. Nah, that makes sense. Right, so I got my artillery where I need it in that forest. Yeah, and then I have to go. Did I have to do that? What was my income there? Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
So I
7.
was
See, that's because you
forced.
bought the recon
Yep.
last turn. You could have built a tank this turn, you know?
Yep. Yep.
It's kind of like the snowball effect, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So don't fall in the trap that you need to spend all your money every single turn.
Yep. Nah, that is
And I put
duly
my tank in
noted.
the forest because at first I was like, I could plop it on the city, but I want my infantry that just finished capping to get on that mountain.
Okay, this one here onto there. Yep.
Exactly. I want to put my infantry there, and I want to see if you're capping. I don't even think you were capping. I was like, all right, easier than I thought. So yeah,
Yeah.
you want to get some vision before you blindly start, rolling into a place. You could have had 2 tanks for all I know. I don't know about the artillery yet, so I have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I'm just wondering now if the fact that I've left these vacant is sort of telling of a maybe not the most optimal capture game early on.
In terms of income, I think you did a more optimal capture game, but in terms of long-term value, I think mine was a little more aggressive, and I'll be able to secure my properties better. So like it's a trade-off. Like I had some more idle infantry turns, but I went for more aggressive caps.
Yeah, cool. No, that makes sense. So you just
So I
push
probably
it.
pump out another tank. I'm just starting to create a tank chain at this point.
Yep.
And next turn I'll have 2 tanks and an infantry since I'll have 15,000 in funds. That's another thing. Just recognize the number like patterns and whatnot. Like if I spent a recon earlier, it'd just throw off everything. But when you have 15k and 3 properties, that's immediate. It's 2 tanks, infantry, just like
Yeah. 100%. And that is something that I know I've got to work on. I don't really account for that. I'm going turn to turn, like you said before. How can I spend all my money and, continually have something coming out of each base, so no base skipping, as opposed to, like you said, thinking to the future, working out, I've got X many cities. What can I do to keep a tank chain or whatever going?
Yeah.
So here I fire on that infantry. Move into the mountain
I like
for
how you got
vision.
the vision too.
Yep.
Smart move.
Yeah, move for vision. And that will allow this guy to come and capture that. And I think that's what I do. Yeah. Capturing. Recon moves down to that forest. Again, not doing a whole lot. I can't remember what it does this game, so that's probably a bad sign. There it
Build an
is.
artillery on your weak side. I mean, it's not terrible, but probably a tank would probably be better, or maybe a tank and a mech. And you could put a mech on that property right there, since you can plop your mech on either the HQ or the city.
Yeah, that's a really good
But
point.
I don't think the artillery is terrible. If it was a recon, I would say that's terrible. But it's not bad. Actually, what really threw me off is you built a B copter at this point. I had no anti-air. You had your airport, I think, a turn earlier than me. You finished it. So maybe a B copter here could be viable.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I don't hate that build. It's it's whatever.
Okay. I just remember later on in the game when we were talking on Discord, you're like, well, at least you didn't build an artillery on your weak side that I've seen yet. I'm just here thinking, oh no. What have I done?
Yeah, I think you didn't use it optimally. I think that was the main issue.
100%. I did hardly anything from memory.
Yeah. When you have an artillery, you need to have like a game plan for it. It's not as carefree as a tank. So every time you build an artillery, you need to know what you're going to do with it. Yeah, I would opt going for the middle more in those lower level games, because then you can shift from either side that you want. If you need more support on your weak side, you can just move them in one turn. Or if you want to put more pressure on the strong side, move them in one turn.
Yeah, no.
So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just like, I'm going to take over at the center. First thing I do, I probably move my infantry to the mountain. Well, first I do that on my left side, but then on my right side, I'm going to be moving my infantry to the mountain first before I move my tank in.
Yep, there
and
it
I
is.
see that there's no threats, so I can probably safely put my tank on one of those cities.
Oh, yep, suss out here too. Now you've got full
I got
vision.
a lot of vision. Not a single recon, I got a lot of vision going on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've pretty much got, half the map more.
Yeah, I've basically given up my left side. I'm like, whatever. some people in the lower levels might try to interrupt that cap next to your artillery, but that's pretty futile, and you're gonna lose an infantry for that, maybe more. So I just recognize like, hey, you're gonna win that property, it's fine, but I'm gonna win those 2 properties with my tank up there. It's, you know, and I'll probably get those ones on the left later on. Like that's kind of like later on in my checklist. I'm not giving them up for the whole game, but for now, you know, whatever. I'll let you have them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm basically move all my units to focus on those 2 properties. Actually, I do move a tank over there. I think my idea here was I want to bait your guys to capture one of those first, so I can get a kill and I can start capturing.
Okay. Yep.
On those 2 contested properties on the top left, I mean right. I didn't capture. I could have put my tank on them to be hyper aggressive.
Yes.
But I wanted to get a kill. I think that was my goal. And then I put that other tank on the city. I guess just to... I could have actually probably hit it in a better spot than that, but I wasn't sure how much power you had on your left side, so I just wanted to be a little aware.
Not as much as I should have because of this, but that's all good. So... Oh, also, I don't think I mentioned it, but I had to base skip to get that tank. Yeah, because I think I realized at this point how vulnerable I am. Like, yes, I got an artillery, but if, you know, a tank chain comes into here, I'm pretty much screwed. So I was like, all right, I got to get a tank out there.
Yeah, I wouldn't have built that artillery there. And you kind of go on the offensive here on my strong side, so I don't really agree with that. Because I'm going to basically take over the side eventually, so I would keep your penguins as walls for your artillery later. That's kind of why the artillery wasn't as effective, because you kind of killed off all its guarders, its blockers. Yeah,
very true. I saw an opportunity to take out your capturing unit there, but yeah, this is my weak side, so no, that's 100%. Keep them as defenders. And look, I've just walked this into a...
Exactly, that's why I was like, okay, I get some kills while I'm at it, and it worked out, being patient rather than just plopping it on there, so...
Yeah. And I definitely should have moved to this mountain first to get vision. I would have seen the tank in that and probably changed my decision making here. But I just went, city, I grab.
Yeah.
And then I move on to the mountain and go,
then you see everything. It's too late at that point.
Yep, so this is all pretty straightforward. Start capturing that. Why not? Here I shoot this guy out to stop that cap because I think I'm like 2 infantry up on you at this point. And I'm like, screw it. I'll sacrifice this guy to prevent that for another turn.
I don't hate it, but you know, it's whatever.
Yeah. And that recon, I'm pretty sure, if I just go back... oh, geez. I gotta skip through it all again. I think it just sat there that whole turn.
Yeah, and look, it's right next to the guy on the mountain, literally not giving any extra vision.
Yeah, no extra vision, just chilling there. They can't do anything. All right, so you're
out for the kill here rather than trying to go for the cap.
Yep.
I figure unit value is more important anyway, and I think we're pretty even on income at this point.
Yep. We are. And on unit value and everything, really.
Yes, it's still early on in the game.
Bit of a glitch there, but you attacked my infantry.
And then, yeah, like I said, just get some free hits up here.
Yep.
Move my tanks. I think I shift my left tank over to the right probably at this point, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Probably that forest. Or right there. I wanted some overlap. There's probably a reason why I didn't put in that forest. I probably wanted overlap with the other tank or something of the sort.
Oh, okay.
But now, yeah, look at how many tanks I have. I have 5 tanks, and you have 2 tanks. So tank superiority is clearly in my favorite. But you do have artillery, but they're kind of, you know, they're stuck in their positions.
Yeah, no, 100%. I was just about to make comment on that too. You have such a stronger presence at the moment than I do, and a lot more adaptability too. You can shift these wherever you need them, whereas my forces are pretty much focus to each side at this point. Because you have this
Yeah, you're kind
control
of
of the
cornered
middle.
in the top left. Like, you have those 2 tanks, but you can't just willy-nilly, like, throw them down, because you see 4 of my tanks with your vision right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if you want to be too aggressive with those penguins right there. Like, I think you should have just let me cap that, to be perfectly honest. Because now I'm going to just kill all of those.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
100%. I think this is when I start panicking a bit. In all honesty, once I saw all those tanks, I'm just like, I got to start doing stuff. Artillery down onto this city. Don't know if that's ideal. I wonder if I did that because I couldn't create a wall for
the
it.
thing is, it shows me where it is. You could have, like, kept it out of my vision because I have vision with the mountain. So giving me a vision of your artillery just basically says, like, okay, the center is completely mine then.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it might be in that forest next to the infantry on the mountain, but it basically gives away its location, which you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Plus, it gets, I mean, my tank can get a free hit off on it. I wouldn't call it free because your tank can, you know, fire back from a city. But
Yeah.
all the same.
I think that was my thinking there, that yeah, it can get attacked from the front here, but then I'll get a nice attack back. Preemptive.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. Why not?
Ugh.
You go for the easy cap over there.
Mm-hmm.
You build a helicopter right at the same time you build the anti-air, so good anticipation.
Yeah, cheers. And now here's the massacre of the penguins. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, I'm just shifting all my forces over there.
Yeah, this is looking real scary. Get
And
your
I do
HQ
keep one tank
protected.
on the HQ just because I can see you're salivating, you're looking at the HQ, so I just don't want to let something go haywire like that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Even though I was telling myself this game, you know, don't rush the HQ. I'm still falling into a trap.
You can't help yourself.
I know, right? So artillery, anti-air moves up. So I did that. I could see this guy on the mountain. I made sure to keep it out of your vision.
That's a smart move, yeah.
Again, pushing and trying to interrupt.
See, my tanks, even though they're on the right side there, they can easily swing over and kill those penguins just because of the center control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that artillery has done absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it at this point.
Yeah. I think it's at least one turn after this where you messaged me on Discord like, oh, well, at least you didn't build the artillery.
And this tank right here, that's just a suicide mission, these two going over here. If you're going to do something like that, you should have killed the thing on the property first and then put your other tank on top of the property. So you have one tank on top of the property, which has 30% extra firepower, rather than having one on plane, one on shoal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one kill, rather than focusing on the 6 HP one, you should have killed the 5 and then put the other one on top. And it would have been a nice defense.
100%. Now what I've done is I've actually put this in range to be attacked with a 30%
exactly. So
extra
now I get to have that extra 30% firepower rather than you.
Yeah, 100%. And that was one really big takeaway from this that I got, was don't sit, when you're versing Lash, don't sit units next to these high terrain star terrains, if possible. That is just a death wish.
It's good Kindle practice too, yeah.
Yeah, true.
So this is the turn I think the income swing starts to happen. I finally get my properties that I wanted. Yeah, I shift all my tanks over. I'm like, mission accomplished on the right side. Might as well. I mean, I got the 2 properties. Might as well just attack on the left now.
Yep. Oh, look at this. Absolute massacre. Like, even that's a 1 terrain star on a 0.
Yeah.
And you were like encircle this tank from memory.
Yeah, I think I trap it in there just so it has no hope. And I keep my copter out of recon range because I'm not sure if you have an anti-air, which you do.
Mm-hmm. Yep, makes sense. Artillery moves back, I guess.
See, both of our artillery on our weak side isn't really doing much. I had mine just because I thought you were doing an all-out because I saw nothing on your right side. So, I mean, if you try to capture the HQ at this point, it's not going to work anyway, but I figured why not have an artillery. But I think in retrospect, yeah, I think both of us probably could have done without the artillery on the weak side.
Yeah. There's a mech.
I build a mech just because I probably don't need it, but I build it anyway.
Fair enough.
Feeling comfortable on the right side at this point.
Yeah, 100%. So moving to there for vision. I don't know what I'm thinking here. I'm thinking, oh, let's capture these back, I guess. But like, it's so silly.
They can swing right back.
Yeah, that's it. They've come over here, done a bit of damage, come back here, done a heap of damage, and now they can just swing right on back. Like, you're just...
It's like a pendulum, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, your front switching video came out around this time. And instead of me taking that on board and using it myself, I just got shown like how powerful it actually is.
I mean, sometimes you need to learn from experience rather than people, you know, telling you what to do. So
yeah, true. So I shift that anti-air back. I'm not sure exactly why.
I think I might have. No, I didn't. I never saw it. I still don't know it exists.
Yeah. Oh, because the tank can go there, and I wanted to keep it out of vision, and it still covered all the stuff it needed to cover. Pushing back. I think I did this. This was a very futile attempt to try and get you to overextend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't fall for that anymore.
Nah. I was very naive to think Deejus would fall for that.
Yeah, right now I'm just consolidating, getting easy pickoffs. Like, look at the unit count. I don't think it's registered, but I think it's like 16 to 24, soon to be 27 to 16.
Mm-hmm.
Or less than that if this kills the tank. It doesn't. But, you know, it's unit count is starting to really play a role at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm in no hurry. I have an income advantage. I'm going to secure another property, so I'm really in no rush. Don't really feel the need to overextend. Just control the middle. Spam more units. I built another artillery. I don't even know at this point. I think at this point I was just kind of like, I felt pretty comfortable. And I just started making some strange units like mechs and artillery.
Yeah.
In the perfect scenario where I was like, you know, playing optimally, probably just keep making tanks and battlecopters.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, a lot of the games in my level, when I'm down, I find if I do this kind of maneuver, probably 7 or 8 times out of 10, they'll push. They'll keep pushing. Even though there's no HQ there. But yeah, anyway, that's just a fun little fact. Not going to help if I want to progress beyond, but... Yeah, and again, pushing on my weak side.
Yeah, my tanks are still ready. They're in position. They're in the middle. Mm-hmm. And it seems like you're trying to get in the middle now, too, but I have, like, first mover's advantage, you know, so... We get a bunch of first strikes.
Yeah, 100%. And that was exactly what I was thinking. I need to get into the middle and take advantage of this, you know, front switching back and forth I'm watching you do. But I think this is to my detriment. You start really mopping up on this turn.
Yeah, basically I saw what you did with my vision. And I decided, okay, you can go to the middle, but I'm going to take back the properties that you took from me.
Yeah.
And guard with them.
Oh, look at that.
So I guess the artillery actually kind of makes sense at this point to consolidate. I was actually expecting like a medium tank at this point maybe from you. So I think that's why I went double arty just for the big heavy hitters that I was expecting. Because I have tank superiority. It's kind of impossible for you to catch up at this point. So I figured that I just build something instead. And then, so finally artillery is about to hit something.
Yeah. Finally. What is it? Day 12. You can't see it, but day 12. Yeah, I'm starting to really panic here. Yeah, so you're just shifting everything back again.
I'm kind of like spread pretty even at this point. The reason I didn't move my battlecopter to the right side like I normally would is because I had black boat. I didn't want to give away where my copters were, so I just split them up once to each side because I know you probably have an anti-air at this point, and then just the black boats. If it wasn't there, I'd probably shift them both to the right, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Coming over, trying to protect my artillery. It gets a hit off. Not amazing. I kill a tank. Woo!
So yeah, now you're sitting them on the cities. That's a pretty good move.
Yeah. Sweet. Then I build the medium tank.
Yeah.
I guess I get vision here. Just wondering why I didn't build it out of here. That would have been a better location,
Yeah, probably.
Alright, back to your turn.
That's a free
yeah.
hit.
What gives you vision of that? The tank, obviously. Ouch. Ouch.
And now I'm just going in on the left side. I see all your tanks are on the right. I'm like, I'm going to take advantage of you going all in on the right side, so I'm just going to start hammering you on the left.
So I don't think this recon did a single thing. It just dies right here.
Probably not.
Go recon. And I was so annoyed that this was one space out of reach from my medium tank.
Yeah. Although if you have a super, it would reach.
Oh, true. And do I get it? Actually, I think I do end up getting it, actually, now that I say that.
I think you do, yeah. So
here we go.
That nice 40% infantry bonus, that's nice. I couldn't resist.
Yeah.
Build my own medium tank.
Yeah, it's looking real dire. I remember, I don't know if it was at this point yet. Might have been next turn. But I was really considering I should just resign. But I was like, nah, you know what? I'll keep going and see what I can do.
Alright. Yeah, right now I got a 13 unit advantage.
Yes. Yeah, look at that. Wow. So I use my super here, and that lets the medium tank reach. There we go.
Come down. Unfortunately for my mech, it doesn't quite have a great impact.
Nah, but I've set this nicely, unless I move my tanks into protect. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so infantry there to get vision, move my tank.
You have a nice little good comeback on the left side.
Yeah, doing better than I remember.
Is definitely paying off for now.
Yep, sit on that HQ. And I guess I must have, I can see this battlecopter, so I want to have anti-air on both sides. This one's about to die.
Yeah, I really wanted to capture that that property finally. I really want to kill that penguin there, and I'm able to with the huge mountain bonus, just so I can kill that tank.
Yeah. In there, yeah. Do you get it?
Maybe. I think you should kill with the attack.
Coming in and capturing these two, it is just absolute massacre at this point.
Yeah, I saw you're going all in on the left. Oh, I'm just attacking both sides at this point. I know I have unit count superiority, so I just start attacking everything.
Yeah. Start capturing my comm tower too. This is probably...
Yeah, I just wanted to make one of your units divert to attack it, because it has 6 defense stars, so you're going to have to put, that anti-air is going to have to attack it, or that medium tank's going to have to attack it.
Very true. This might be the turn I resign.
No, I think you kept going after this. You were feeling risky.
This was definitely the point then when I was feeling like I should be resigning. Yeah, just trying to pull something out of the hat. They just sat there because they're sitting on all right terrain stars, and I feel like if I move them out here, they're just going to get obliterated, which they would.
Yeah, now I have complete vision of basically your whole right side with that control of that mountain right there.
Yeah, you can
Once
see.
you basically give up the mountain on the right side, you're in for a rough time because I can see what you're building. I can see all your units. I can see when a battle copter comes out. You know.
Yeah, look at this. You're pretty much seeing the entire battlefield here.
Except for your bases. That's basically the one part I don't see.
Ouch. Let's get through this. It's just penguins getting slaughtered.
Like if you notice, you have less than half my amount of units at this point.
Yeah.
Soon to be like a third. So I'm not really going for any heroic pushes or anything. I'm just, if I see a unit that's vulnerable, I'm just killing it.
Yeah, 100%. Then my very measly vision here can hardly see anything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, see if the medium tank stays in range of my artillery.
Pretty sure it just did. It sat there and attacked that infantry. Yay. Oh no. Oh, sorry. No, my artillery attacked it. Sorry. No, it moves.
Yeah, it's still alive. See you another day.
This artillery again. I think it's fired one shot, killed a tank, and ran back.
Yeah, it's not really doing too much.
Done nothing.
You could probably move it up right there. I mean, it has enough blockers, I would think. Actually, no, I probably would kill that penguin attacking by the mountain, and then I'd find some. Yeah, I'd see it anyway. So
true. Yeah, there you go, and you would have come in and got it.
And I see it, so I know my medium tank's not in range. And then I attack it.
Oh man, there was a unit. I think there was a tank sitting on there.
Yeah.
Look at
I'm
this.
still expecting a battlecopter this entire time, but one never shows up.
Yeah, I never build a battlecopter, do I, this game?
I had an artillery ready, but yeah, you didn't build nothing, so.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. The
I
golf
think
ball.
that's gonna hammer home. Like that's gonna be the decisive blow.
The nail in the coffin.
Forcibly ends the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Most people would have resigned by now. I'm like, okay, he's a tenacious guy, this WardieJay. So I'm gonna have to really hammer it home with a Neo tank.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
Do I resign here? Surely.
Yeah,
there it is. I don't even see the Neo tank. Yeah, I'm tenacious. I'm not that tenacious. Yeah. So yeah, bit of a massacre in the end. Felt like I was doing all right at the start, but
yeah, it just kind of snowballs. I think you're giving up the center and building too many artillery. It just kind of snowballed, and then once I got the center, I had unit count advantage, income advantage, and once you're down from those two categories, it's pretty hard to come back. Even though you had a bit of a comeback during your super turn, I think you did a good job clawing back, but at that time, like, the damage had already been dealt.
Yeah, 100%. No, I agree. The big lessons from this one is your early builds and making sure it's effective for the map that's being played. Nothing wrong with building a recon, but on this map, nah. And being able to identify what that is too. Looking at a map and knowing what is effective and what isn't. And then, yeah, 100% like you said, getting control of the middle, and then you've got that, what's the word? Is it adaptability? Is that the right word to move back and forth? Something like that.
Yeah, adaptability works. I mean, you have flexibility.
Flexibility, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, gives you the flexibility to shift as required. But all in all, it was a fun game. Even though I got decimated, and
that was fun.
Yeah, and I've learnt a lot. From this experience. I think I'd be worried for whoever comes up against me in the 900 MMRs now.
Oh yeah, you better watch out. Now you're furious. Yeah.
100%. I got all them dank strats now.
Unfortunately, they discontinued this map in the global league like yesterday, so you won't be able to use your new strategy on this map. But
You're
just in
kidding
general,
me.
oh yeah, they got rid of it. It was only 1 month long. They used this map, and people didn't like it, so they got rid of it.
Oh. Oh well, whatever.
So use what you learned on this map and try to, use it for a different map.
100%. 100%. But no, thanks a lot for agreeing to have the game, Deejus, and showing me a few things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, greatly appreciate it. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we wrap things up?
No, I don't think so. Thanks for hosting me. I know it's very late in Australia right now. We're on opposite sides of the world, so props to you staying up late to record this.
That we are. It's currently midnight, so yeah, it's a bit late. I got work tomorrow morning, but it's worth it. Definitely worth it. Cool. All right, thanks again, Deejus, for coming along, and thanks everyone for watching. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and comment, help out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing. Thanks a lot, everyone, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks. Bye. Bonus bit. I come to you again from even further in the future. This is like a week since the last bit that was in the future. Yeah, I hate editing videos. This has been taking forever. During editing though, I noticed I say 100% like way too much so many times, which I think I can safely chalk down to nerves during the recording. So I thought I'd make a little game out of it, see how many times you could count that I say 100% during this video. Put it down in the comments. The answer to how many times may surprise you. When someone guesses the correct answer, I'll let them know. Anyway, good luck. Thanks again for watching. Bye.